Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Back on the bike build, VFR400. About to do a few bits today. We're going to do a little bit of investigating again in preparation for a couple of parts that are coming. Also, I've got a couple of parts that have arrived today. I want to just open them up and go through them and show you what my plan of action is moving forward with the bike. So one of the things that I've received today is, should be a couple of bits. This actually came from the person that I bought the bike from, that was actually breaking it down, and they had already had some parts that had already been taken off and that were for sale. So I ended up buying quite a few bits of this bike from that were originally belonging to the bike. So one important part that I needed is, and this is actually the original PG tips. I hope not, although I love a cup of tea. But let's see what we got in here. Hang on a second. So here we go. This is the fuel cock, fuel shut off from the fuel tank. So I've got it here. I think this is the filter, isn't it? So probably going to change this. Just a couple of bits and bolts and stuff. What's interesting, I believe the fuel line that used to be on, that I connected this to, I believe it was cut. I could be wrong, but I do believe it's cut. I actually received a new one because I ordered a new one. I actually received this, and it would be interesting to see if this actually joins mates to it, because it looks like this has been cut here as well. So I think this is actually the original one that was on here, and it would have been joined onto it like that. I got a new hose. I want to make sure it's the same length as well. And more excitingly, we have received the original gas tank for the bike, and this is the first part I have of the bike with its original colours, so we can see what the condition of the paint was on this bike. So this is it. This is the original paint, the original tank for the bike as well. It looks in good condition as far as there's no dings or anything in it. There's a little bit of bubbling paint and a bit of chipped paint and stuff. It came with a note on it mentioning the key code for the tank. So I'm guessing that this is locked, which is slightly annoying, because if it is locked and I can't get it open, I need to get a key for this, which means I'm going to have to purchase that just to get this out, because I have a new one to go in here with my new set of keys. So it looks like the screws have been taken off, but I think there's a screw under here. What's failing that, I could just drill this lock out, to be honest, because it's going to come out. So I'll probably just drill this lock out, take this whole thing out and replace it with the new one that I have. So I'll grab that new one and then have a look at it and see what it looks like. So this is the new one that I purchased. Looking at it, this one at least anyway, it doesn't look like there's any screw under that, so I'm wondering if this will come out. I have no idea, as I said. So it looks like these four has got the screws in it already for some reason, so it's only these three that actually screw in. 1, 2, 3. So maybe it is actually already unscrewed, so I'll probably see if I can prise it out, but it seems at the moment quite stuck. Someone might know. Well, actually no, you need to have the key in, because when you turn the key, I guess it pushes these things in, so it probably is jammed in. So I'm gonna have to drill this lock and get this out, chuck it away. So another job I did the other day was to paint the clock surrounds. It came out really nice. I did clean them up, took all the bits out. I painted them with the same black that I used on some of the other bits that I painted, but on this occasion I glossed it as well with some lacquer as well, because I wanted these to be gloss and these have come out really good. So these are ready to rebuild. I put all the rubbers back in it already, ready to put the clocks back in on these to throw them back on the bike. So another delivery that I received today, some fancy hoses. These are hoses, black hoses for the coolant system. I'm going to replace all the old hoses. So this is what they look like. AS3 performance, you can see the inside. So these are the new hoses. I've got new clips as well that I already got. We've got radiators on their way as well, waiting for the radiators. So things that we're waiting for at the moment are the radiators. I've got the entire exhaust system as well as the bracket as well. That's coming. I'm waiting for the exhaust system so that I can run up the bike properly. And once I get the exhaust system, the only thing the bike actually needs really now for it to be you know, running or rideable is the rear sets. So that would be the clutch, the gear lever, and on the other side the rear brakes. So those are what I'm waiting for. I'm also waiting for the new connector for the rectifier, and then I can connect the rectifier up as well. And then other than that, it's literally just indicators and rear and front lights that needs to be connected, and the bike is complete in that sense. I also had fitted the rear box back together. I didn't have any clips on here, so I've got these clips now. They've arrived. I bought a whole box of various sizes so I can replace these, put these clips on. I got the screws as well. This didn't come with the screws, as you can see, but I actually ordered and have the whole screw set, so I'm going to screw that down. Airbox is all done and ready to go. So this is a new set of clips. As you can see, they're pretty much the same type of clips that are on the bike now, so I can replace these all for nice shiny ones. But for now I'm just going to put 2 on there just to secure this on properly. So what we're going to do is find the right size for these. I think this is the largest size I have, so it's probably this one. That looks like the right one. Oh, that's perfect. So the largest one that I have is actually the right size for this, which means the ones for these actually look about the same size. I thought they looked a bit larger, but if they are larger, then I'll need to get the next size up for those ones if I decide to change them for new ones. Go. There we go. So we've got clips on here now. So I'm going to take this out now, have a look at this, because as I said, I've got a new one, so I'm going to connect the new one on with a new clip here as well, and then I'm going to connect to the gas tank and see if we can get the gas tank to fit on. This one looks a bit mangled anyway, so it's time for it to go. Go. This is definitely the one that came off. This is swollen a bit because I had it clamped in the Coke can, but you can see the shape of it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but basically this is where that was cut off. So it's interesting to see, you know, the bike being split apart and actually still finding its original parts, which is nice. There's a new fuel pipe. Let's see if it's the same length. it should be about the same length if it's the correct one and size. So yeah, it looks a little bit shorter to me. Well, apparently this is the correct one, so this one's got some slightly different clamps on it though, so I'm gonna have to loosen these with a screwdriver and then clamp it on here. Or I could just take that off and just use the same clamps that are on there, which is probably what I'll do. I believe this is the right size. Let's get this on. Pop this on. That fits good. Just put that on. So that looks good. So these definitely needs a new kit for it. This has just come off, it's really crusty. I believe this is a rubber seal here, and I can see that that's just not even sealing. So this needs to be replaced. This looks like this, I guess this is the filter, the fuel filter. It looks crushed here as well. So yeah, I'll be on the eBay tonight getting a new filter kit for this. I think there's a diaphragm that you can change in here as well, so I might change that as well and just give the whole thing a renovation. We'll need to get into this as well so that we can check the condition of it inside, make sure that it's, you know, clean and so on. I've got the new breather to go on here as well, so that will go on at some point. I am going to need to get some sort of rubber clips for this as well, so that literally sits like that, and then yeah, get the rubber clips in for it. Yeah, that looks good. So it's good to see some sort of shape of a bike, and actually you can see the front mud guard, which is the matching color. So this is the original. The seller who I bought this from, I've seen them selling the fairings, but they're just way too expensive. They look like the original fairings, but I think that they're just selling them overpriced, to be honest. So unfortunately I wouldn't be getting the original fairings for this, but you know, I've tried to get original fairings, but not the original ones that this came on this bike, because it's all going to be painted anyway. I'm not going with the color scheme that's on the bike originally. I don't particularly like it, so it's all going to get stripped back and painted anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's the original ones for the bike, although it would be nice. But yeah, that looks good. Happy with that. So since I did the card rebuild, I haven't started it since a couple of days now, so I'm actually going to try and start it up and see if it still starts quite easily. I've just put the choke on, so let's give it a start and let's see if it starts. Okay, it still does. So yeah, that means we're good to go with our carb. So I'm really excited to get this exhaust on this thing so I can actually run it. It's way too loud at the moment for the neighborhood, but as soon as I get this exhaust, I'm hoping the exhaust comes tomorrow. If it comes tomorrow while I'm at work, when I get home from work, I'm going to be straight on it. I'm going to bolt the exhaust up and I'm going to try and get it running. So all the cooling system parts are on its way. As I said, we received the hoses, so all these hoses are going to be replaced. I think this one looks like it's been chopped off as well. So I've got all new hoses for that. I've got brackets, I've got the lower radiator, I've got the upper radiator, I've got radiator brackets and so on. I do need to do some investigating on the system because, as you can see, it looks a bit manky. So we're gonna have to take, I think the water pump is here, I could be wrong. We need to check everything. I've got a new thermostat as well, so I'm going to take everything apart and flush something through the system and try and, you know, make sure that we clean everything out, because I have no idea if the system is up to scratch at the moment. So that's one of the next jobs probably I do after I get the exhaust on and we get it running. We're probably going to take our attention to this in anticipation for the radiators to go back on. And once the radiators go on, we can run this thing up to temperature and really, you know, just make sure that everything is good. Once I do that, this bike is beginning its strip down, complete strip down to the frame, everything's coming off, and I'm going to start rebuilding it back. Obviously I've done the rear swing arm already, which was an other swing arm that I had. It's ready to go. So wheels, you guys know I've been doing some painting on the wheels. I'm really happy with it, but I've decided I'm going to go powder coating for a couple of reasons. One, I know the powder coating will be a harder wearing finish, so that's part of it. But also I've got a couple of parts that I want to get powder coating, so it makes sense to just take them all and get them all done at the same time. So these fork these yokes I'm gonna get done powder coated. Also, when I take the front forks off, I'm probably gonna powder coat the lower part there, because I'm gonna probably take the forks seals and everything apart. I may do some parts on the engine, and also I want to do the shock and spring as well, powder coat. So it makes sense to just get them all done, you know. So yeah, I've decided that I'm going to do this. I'm going to get them all powder coated, so they'll be done in white, all the other bits done in black as they are, and the spring will be done in red again as it is now. So 3 different colors of powder coating. So I found somewhere, and I think I'm just going to take them all there, get them all done. A couple of other bits I got. These are the bleed nipples I've been waiting for the front brakes calipers that I've already rebuilt. I've got the copper washers already. I just needed these, so I can put these on now, and the front brakes are complete. These are the black screws that I got that will be used to screw the airbox down. So I'm just check now that these fit. If I've got the right thing, I'm not sure. They're generic screws, and they are pretty much similar to what I've seen on the parts list. So we'll see if they're correct. I'm going to try it out now. Alright guys, so I've already tried one and it looks like it's the right one. So this is them here. And they are perfect fit, and they are black as well. So yeah, these are great. So I'm going to just put all these screws on, and that's the airbox sorted out. Alright, so they're all in. All these screws have been done. They fit perfectly, and they are basically the screws that need to go on. So that's done. We've put these clips on here. We've put this new fuel line in, ready for the new once I rebuild the fuel filter and stopcock, that's all ready to go. So one other thing I need to sort out is my wiring. So this is the new key ignition switch that I had to splice to this one. So I didn't have any crimps or anything, which I have now. I've got some crimps, so I'm going to crimp these, put some proper connectors on the end, and then also I will get this all taped up with some sleeving. But at the moment it's not good like this. Alright guys, here we go. So I've crimped these on. So I've gone red, black and blue, so that way you can always make sure we put them in the right place. So yeah, I'll just sort these out and route them around properly, but otherwise ignition is done. So let's just check that and make sure we're working. Ignition. There we go, we're back in business. Cool, one more job done. Also in preparation for our heating or cooling system, should I say, I did order a used expansion tank. Unfortunately, when I got it, I realized it's supposed to slip in here, and that slots in here. It's actually molded to the shape of the bike, and it should have a tab here that goes through, and the bolt goes through here. Unfortunately, the tab was broken when I got it, so I contacted the breakers, and they have another one, so they're sending me that, and they apologize, so they're sending me out a new one. So once that comes in, here's the actual pipework already for that. This came with one. We've also got this is just an overflow, which basically just hangs down the bottom here. So I'm waiting for a new one of that, and then we can connect that up to the cooling system, one that all comes as well. So yeah guys, the bike is starting to look like a bike. Really excited about that. So also next thing I'm going to be trying to source is the bracket so that I can fit the clocks on properly, and also to fit the headlamps in as well, and then that will get the front of the bike working. We can test those all up. I've got the connections here for the headlamps as well. Yeah, that's the next job. So that's it tonight guys, just did a few little bits. I just wanted to do something on the bike with a few little bits that are coming in. As they come in, I try to get them jobs done, so it's not because it come an overwhelming task of things to do. Hopefully, as I said, tomorrow, hopefully exhaust comes in. I will be out in the garage and I will be trying to get this bike running properly. I really want to hear how it sounds with an exhaust. I actually have 2 silencer boxes coming with it as well, with the manifolds. So I actually get to choose which one I want to use. They might sound different, I'm not sure. I'll keep the other one for the second bike, because as I said before, I've got a second frame. I actually have 3 frames. So there's going to be a lot of bike building. So if you like this stuff, please make sure you subscribe and keep looking out for the videos as they come. So mentioning about the frames, here are the other frames as well. This is the other NC30 frame here, which I have the logbooks for as well. And here is an NC24 frame, which is the previous model. I've already got some parts for this as well. I've got some parts for this. Obviously, I've got the rear swing arm, I've got the rear wheel, I've got an extra shock for it, I've got yokes, all that stuff. So I've got, I don't know, 30% of the parts for this one already. So as soon as this bike is done, we'll be moving on to one of these 2 as well. So that's it guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's update. Just want to keep you guys in the loop. Let us know what you think of this progress so far, and please don't forget to like and share and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.